Hello, everybody. You are all unmuted. Welcome to another exciting session of Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. I am your DM, Obsidia, everyone's favorite Death Knight, and the creator of this particular campaign. Here we are, 45 sessions strong. You'll love to see it. Before we get started, I'm going to do some brief announcements before we go around the table introductions, a brief session recap before we hop right back into it. So first of all, I want to do a huge shout out to everybody in chat for participating and supporting our charity fundraiser during the month of June with the New York Snark Exchange. We raised $1,129.12 for Trans Lifeline, a trans suicide prevention and support network. So thank you all so much for being so giving and so supportive. We always love helping people out, and especially, we all believe that trans rights are human rights here, baby. So thank you all so much for that. You guys make this all worthwhile, making Pride truly a month to be proud of. Secondly, we have two, I repeat, birthday song requests. It was our very own Catgirl Knight VTuber Sif's birthday yesterday, and it is going to be our very own Maris's birthday next week. But for things that will be announced later on, we will not be having sessions for the next 2 weeks for player availability. So without further ado, here we go, the official Obsidia birthday song. Happy birthday, happy birthday, beloved Sif and Maris.
Yay, thank you.
Let's fucking go.
There you go. Thank you. I hope you guys have wonderful birthdays. Maris, are you officially DILF status?
I will be, yes.
Oh god, you'll love to see it. You'll love to see it.
All
The
my
big
friends are
three.
being MILFs and DILFs.
Yeah, you got that milk money. I got that MILF money. Let's go.
It's okay. I'm still 29, so I got a whole another year.
I'm glad you found yourself, a nice young one.
It's so cursed.
Truly.
But yes, thank you everybody. Happy birthdays. Thank you for all the trans support. Thank you for all the resubs. And we will start up with our very favorite Paige the Mage. Let's go.
Yeah, hello, and yes, happy birthday to two of you. I'm Yulia. I go by Royal Knight VT on both Twitch and Twitter. I've been slacking a lot because I've been gaming a lot. Just not on stream, unfortunately. But yeah, I play a lot of Skyrim, play a lot of JRPGs on my channel, play Dungeons and Dragons with these wonderful people. So always good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Yulia. Next up, we have Ilya.
Hello. My name is Lily, and I'm playing Ilya in this lovely little campaign here. Very excited to have a good session of very traumatizing things being discussed. So we're going to have a great time as we try and help people through difficult times, and that'll be great.
Thank you, Lily. Yes, tonight is going to be a lot of hecked up stuff. That is your initial content warning, everybody. There's going to be some hecked up government experimentation stuff here and some brainwashing, so I hope you enjoy it. Next up, we have the horniest MILF in this party. We've got Euphoria.
Hey, yo, that's me. Hello, everyone. Maris. I am playing Lady Euphoria Cox tonight. And yeah, always a pleasure to be here and be queer and play with my favorite friends, playing my favorite game. When I am not here playing D&D, I am on my own channel, usually reading stories. We're currently doing a read-through of Peter and the Starcatchers, so if you like cozy, comfy, whimsical vibes, stop on by sometime.
How deliciously whimsical.
Yes, indubitably.
Thank you, Maris. Next up, we have your pal Malral.
Hey, I'm Litro, also known as Malral. I'm a big dragon dude, and I like to heal and smash stuff.
You love to see it. Also a DM of their very own Pathfinder 2e game on Saturdays. You should go check them out. Over on Azura's channel. Next up, we've got last but never least, says.
Hi there, it's me, Says, roleplayed by your local birthday boy, Sif. Hey, how's it going? I don't really have much else to say. I do art streams, I play games. There's this weird Reaper guy outside my house just staring at me saying next, but I don't know. Aside from that, I'm doing good. I love you guys tons. I'm looking forward to the exposition today.
Yeah, we all look forward to Sif's next character in this campaign in totally not ominous ways.
Okay, alright.
But yes, thank you everybody. Previously on Eberron, Ashes of the Last War, we did the bad ending. So our very own Paige decided to try and look into the future, ignoring the advice of her professor, as well as her very own sister, to try and determine if she could see the future and figure out the best way to protect her family and friends. As she entered it, she became very aware of why her teacher warned her as she became pulled into various timelines where she got to see the horrific, traumatic, and disastrous results of her friends being left to their own devices as she inevitably abandoned their timeline to try and fix it. Going from the scale of being a serial killer to trapped in an eternal cycle of war to killing their own mother when been face to face. And as they went through this, they were constantly reached out to by forces trying to pull them out of the many timelines they were experiencing. And after receiving a pep talk from the undead version of her sister from another timeline, she was eventually pulled into a pocket reality where she met the 5 other pages that had existed from those other timelines and had each in turn been traumatized by their experiences. They explained that every page tries to do this, tries to look in the future, and tries to fix things, but it inevitably always fails. So they've all teamed up together to try and figure out a way to actually reset their timelines so that they can fix it and get their friends and family to kind of see the light and actually listen to them, because they know best, because they're infinitely knowing time mages and the others are a bunch of scrubs. However, despite their support of our Paige and her decision to try and do this, they reiterated how pointless it would be, but Paige said that no, she would not simply sit idly back and watch her friends and family die. She is going to take an active role staying in her timeline to actually fix it at the ground level rather than leave it entirely to be abandoned for future repairs. The other pages decided to give her the benefit of the doubt and lend her a significant portion of their power so that she could be able to, make her dreams come true and impose her will, the origin of all magic, onto her particular timeline. But they did warn her, if she mishandles this, there is an anomaly in her timeline that will destroy all other timelines if it is left out of control. So, no pressure, right? Upon returning to the present of her own existence, she emerged transformed by her experiences, now having a stock of flowing white hair, abandoning her old school uniform for a more elegant and refined attire, and basically said that she learned what she needed to learn and they should proceed to the last stand. Her friends were kind of like, well, I hope you figured it out. Hope that everything ended well. Spoiler, it did not. And so as they journeyed through the wastelands, they approached a dark tower looming amidst a sea of bones that small crab-like beings of flesh and steel would scuttle across, dragging pieces of organic matter as well as pieces of metal and other debris towards this enormous tower, which was bearing the crests of House Vidalis, the dragon-marked house in charge of magical alteration and transmutation of creatures, as well as the Kingdom of Seer. And that is where we will begin, with the enormous doors of the facility left closed and our heroes approaching it. What do you do?
That's a great question.
Is Sylonia going to
No
give us
pressure.
like the grand? Is Sylonia going to give us like the grand tour or something? Do we just knock on it?
I've never been here before, but I have some authorization as a Decaneth.
Hmm.
Kind of looks at all of you like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Should we just go up to the door and see if we can open it?
Won't do anything if we just stand here. Let's go.
Um,
The divining
Yes.
rod just point towards the door.
okay, everyone approaches it. The door doesn't seem to have any
Okay.
any like handles or anything on it. Sylonia starts like moving her hands around it, trying to look for some kind of access panel or something, but she doesn't seem to be able to find anything quite yet. She goes, it should be around here somewhere. They obviously had to have a way to open it. Although perhaps it has a command word associated, it is tied to some kind of magecraft. She's kind of theorizing as she continues fiddling with it.
A word associated with it? Would it, being the mage, would I have any inkling as to what could possibly be the word?
Yeah, you would have no idea what they could have picked as a command word for this.
Okay.
And as you're looking at Cess, you feel a kind of pulling compulsion towards it.
Huh.
We tried
I
open
want-
sesame.
It does not open, Malral.
I'm gonna touch it. So I was gonna walk up to it and put her hand on it.
All right. As you walk up to it and put your hand on it, you see that spike kind of flows off of Cess's hand and starts touching against the wall, which becomes illuminated with some arcane insignia. And the doors with a great creaking hiss begin to slowly open.
Holy shit, guys! Spike's like a lock picking tool. I think. I don't. Did you lockpick it? How does it work? Can you?
I'm Spike, the lock-picking symbiote.
That's their superpower.
Okay. I had no idea he could do that. That would have been really useful on any other time we had a locked door. Yeah. Okay. Well, lab's open. I don't
Labs
know.
open indeed.
You do hear a somewhat mechanical voice say over, I don't know, some kind of projection. You hear, unauthorized access override. Unauthorized access override. But the doors remain open.
Well, being stealthy was never my strong suit, so it makes sense it wouldn't be Spike's either.
Did Spike say anything to you when doing that? Or I apologize,
No.
I don't know exactly how they speak.
They think at me sometimes, or well, no, they can speak. They just don't do it in front of people. But I don't know. It just felt right. Felt like touching the door.
Well, it worked, so I guess it's a good thing. Let's just be cautious going inside.
I mean, it's an old abandoned building, right? What could be in it? Huh? A couple of ghosts, some debris.
We did just hear the intercom, didn't we?
Well, yeah, but that could just be like abandoned houses still have doorbells.
Listen, if this is something that the Ashbringers could have been in touch with, then I don't exactly want to chance anything.
Okay.
That
In and out.
doorbell didn't sound too friendly, so let's just try to keep it on the DL.
All right. In and out, quick adventure, grab thing, leave. Got it.
20-minute adventure.
Yes, keep it on the down low as Malral walks forward. Clink, 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 clink.
As you enter the facility, you see mage lights begin activating, just like lights turning on.
Okay.
No, it's not like
lights,
alarms.
but
So fantasy.
Lasers.
You do see that the walls, there's like strips along the walls where specifically Sylonia and Paige could easily recognize it, that they appear to be shards of dragon shards, which are, they're pieces of basically magic glass that exists. You know, the Kyber dragon shard that was used, or that was stolen, which the Ashbringers are supposedly using. These appear to be Sybaris dragon shards, which are far less radioactive or anything, but they seem to be embedded in the wall periodically, and they do appear to be coursing with some kind of magic.
Could I do an Arcana check to see like a specific type of magic, or
Sure.
is it okay? Okay. Come on, baby.
come on.
Nice.
What the?
Nice.
Come on. Come on.
It's not time magic, you know that much.
Well,
With a 13.
it is very shiny.
And as you go to touch it, one of them lights up, and you see a projection appear in front of you of a kind of blue translucent woman that reminds you of the arcane spirits at Moorgrave, wearing a lab coat and like a pencil skirt and glasses. And she looks at you all and goes, "Welcome to the last stand. How may we be of assistance?"
Her tail kind of poofs up a little bit. She backs away. The can you hear me? Can you understand what I'm saying?
We can comprehend all of your verbal inputs.
Oh.
I mean, Paige, it literally just spoke common to us. It can speak to us, whatever it is.
Well, I just wasn't sure if it would respond back.
It turns its head to look at Cess, and you see her narrow her eyes as she looks at Cess and goes, "Unknown anomaly detected. You should proceed deeper forward for being returned and reprocessed."
That is a lot of words I'm used to hearing in terms of food.
Is this where your jacket was made?
I got him out of a locker.
I think, and my history is a little bit foggy, but Sylonia, didn't you say that the daelkyr, didn't they come from this house?
I don't know if the daelkyr came from here. I have no exposure to this place. I do know that obviously Cess has formed some kind of relationship with the daelkyr entity that she calls Spike, and the projection will turn to look at Sylonia and go, "Oh, Lady Decaneth, welcome back."
Welcome back.
I've never been here before. I don't know why it's acknowledging me.
Insight check.
Spicy.
Go get him,
Okay.
barbarian.
No faith in your friends. All right.
I listen. I'm not assuming she's lying, but I to clarify for the
I ain't
audience,
calling
you
her
know?
Trooper.
I call her trooper.
That's a 6.
Yeah, you don't have
Wow.
advantage, so that is a 6.
Yeah, my bad.
She does appear to be, totally confused as to why this thing knows who she is.
That you know of.
It did know your true name, though, which does, I would say, give it a little bit of an air of credibility.
It could have known your mom too.
Maybe this is more timeline wacky-a-doo.
Well, we're used to those by now, at least. She'll kind of glance over to the hologram. Is there a particular direction we need to go?
What do you wish to inquire about? How may we be of assistance?
What's
Oh,
the
well.
do we know exactly what we're here to get, or are we just following the light?
You're here to figure out how the Ashbringers keep
yeah.
coming back to life.
All right. Maybe we could
Right,
just
so we need to keep an eye out for clone chambers.
Mhm.
okay. Let's make it a broader net than that. It could be literally anything. I mean, I probably shouldn't ask. I think she hates me, but you could ask her about anything on the Ashbringers.
I don't think that if this facility has not been used since the morning, they might not be known as such.
Okay, well,
We do
Mallow
not
knows-
recognize these Ashbringers that you speak of.
One moment.
Lightbringers.
Oh, do you wish to know about Project Phoenix?
Yes, that sounds about right. Yes, please inform us more about this Project Phoenix.
We will take you to the appropriate archives, but we assure you that you will require sufficient clearance to be able to access any of the memory crystals.
Looks over at Sylonia.
So
Any chance you have that access, even if you don't know it?
Perhaps if this facility has something to do with my father, maybe that has some pull here.
I
Mhm.
mean, worst case, Spike seems to know his way around here too. I keep feeling him tug in like different directions.
And
I guess that could work to our advantage, yeah.
you see the projection starts blinking forward along the various emitters as it's walking down the hallway.
I'd like to ask it something as well. They mentioned something Project Phoenix. Do you know about a Project Peacemaker?
It blinks back next to Paige and goes, no information concerning Project Peacemaker is accessible at this point.
But it does exist.
It's definitely worth a shot, at least for now.
Mm.
Okay. Let's follow it then.
It walks along, and you see that this facility appears to be actually, pretty clean, all things considered. Doesn't seem to have anybody here. There are various, what seems to be offices and, like, barracks areas and stuff within it, but they're all just empty with, belongings still kind of sitting there. But, and they've apparently been arranged to, be cleanly, but overall just not really addressed. But there are no people, there are no bodies, nothing lying around up here.
So, yeah, I guess a further question. It seems like there's no sign of like any morning damage inside of this facility. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Maybe we should bring this AI thing back. It might help out Lily. Thinking out loud.
If one of us can
Okay.
find a way to bring it back, then perhaps, yes.
Everyone
imagine
tries
you
to
could-
pick up the hologram.
I don't imagine taking the Arcane Intelligence attached to a secret government facility would perhaps be a very good decision.
You're right. We'd have to jam into some sort of like small device, maybe something that looked like a small coin that ran around your house cleaning the floor. Just thinking out loud.
Oh, like a cleaning construct.
Things
Yeah,
that look
but-
like weird eyeballs? No, thank you.
But yeah, as you continue walking through, it will eventually take you to a room, which is just a series of scrying screens with various crystals embedded into various shelves around the room. And the last stand will turn to you and go, "This is the archives where Project Phoenix information is located. If you have the appropriate clearance, you should be able to access it.
Okay. You want to see if Spike will do his thing?
Oh, I thought we were gonna have Sylonia try first, but
Sylonia?
Uh,
We have multiple options.
Yes,
Yeah.
perhaps we could, I guess, both try, make it a bit of a team effort.
yeah, sure. I'll see what Spike can do if there's a place he wants to touch.
As you move over to the crystals, as Sylonia touches one, it says, "Subject access denied." And as you walk up to one, Spike's essence detects it or touches it, and you see the AI begin narrowing her eyes at you again as you hear the voice chime in and go, "Anomalous access granted, overrides in place. Seek correction and reconstruction."
I don't know what she means. Spike doesn't feel too comfortable. Let's just look at these things and get out, all right? I don't want anything happening to them. And says he's gonna keep going till the crystals pop out.
Yep, you can pick up one of the crystals, slot it into place, and you see the various screens light up. And there is a picture of what appears to be about a middle-aged human male wearing a lab coat that has the House Vidalis symbol on it, as well as the words, Project Hope. And he looks at apparently all of you guys as he says, "Master Arcanist Valak Devalis here, or Vidalis here, there's a lot of D's and Buzz. Valak Devidalis here. We would like to report that based on our successes with Project Hope, we were able to expand the scope of our endeavors. We believe that such information is transferable and could perhaps be mass-produced. So far, current subjects have been unable to survive the enhancement process, but we remain hopeful that we will find suitable candidates." And then that crystal goes out.
So they would test on other people here. Makes sense. Let me see if I can get another crystal out.
All right. As you get another one up and running, you hear, "Master Arcanist Valak Dividalis here. We have been continuing to seek it. So far, we have had to discard all known potential subjects. We have determined that the bio-arcana has a detrimental impact to most candidates. However, we have been informed that a group of particularly suitable potential candidates has been located within the Siren borders, and we will see that they are escorted to the facility itself for further augmentation testing. If this is able to be the breakthrough we need, we might actually be able to do this on a larger scale. Imagine in a whole army that could never be killed. Finally, Seer can prevail in this idiotic war once and for all." And it goes out.
Good to
Certainly,
see
yeah.
But
Seems to be what we're looking for.
I think so.
we just keep digging then. And I pop out another memory crystal.
"Master Arcanist Valak Dividalis here. Unfortunately, only one of the candidates was able to survive the battle. We were able to carry out the procedures on him, and it appears to have been a swimming success. He apparently has strong enough whatever it takes to be able to withstand this process and maintain his sanity intact. However, he is acting irrationally in response to the information as to his current state as well as those of the other potential subjects. He has insisted that we try something to return them. He doesn't particularly care how, and he will not participate further in this process unless we do such. We will have to draw upon our experiences in Project Hope further, but perhaps we can bring some semblance of them back to functionality and enhancement. And it goes out.
We all know who they're talking about, yeah? Some idea, yeah?
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
so what they say is, was one of the Ashbringers the only one who survived, and does that mean the others are undead?
I have my
mean-
guess on that.
Two of them definitely ring off undead off of first sight. Wouldn't be surprised if the others were.
But how did
Only
they?
one of them seems in the right mind.
But it doesn't. It doesn't add up exactly. That they would have all been dead in that visions that we saw. Those were different people. With hopes and dreams. Why would a lost fight cause them to lose everything?
When you die and your body is puppeted back through that of the sickening of undeath, it does not bring your mind fully intact back, rather shatters remnants. It is not the same as being the same.
You speak as though you have
Person.
experience. I
Well-
can't say that I do myself, but I just merely am trying to put some puzzle pieces together.
It's similar to when you try and reforge a broken hammer. The cracks are there and it can never be the same.
They often say it can be made stronger. Maybe they are stronger now.
If
For
done
lack of a
correctly,
conscience.
but through necromancy, I don't believe that is the right way.
Either way, no further clues on how to stop this.
We keep digging, and I try to go for another core crystal or memory crystal.
Okay. You see a rather sweaty and concerned looking Valak this time around. Master Arcanist Valak Dividalis here. We've carried out the program on the 6 potential test subjects who were deceased upon entering our facility. It seems that the process can be effective, however, the requiring of more daelkyr connectivity has caused a destabilizing impact on the core soul personalities. While we have them contained in the phylacteries, it seems to be a level of near homicidal psychosis that seemingly is only controllable by Marshal Vrain. He's insisting that we continue with the rest of the process until we are able to ensure that their souls will be thoroughly anchored in this world. I have cautioned him that will likely lead to further deterioration, but he is emphatically insisting that we continue. As it goes out.
A phylactery. What are those again? I think I remember hearing someone say that at your school page.
Paige, you will have heard of what a phylactery is.
Okay, because I was about to ask.
Yes. Generally speaking, your school talks about like, yeah, it's a real bad thing. We don't talk about that kind of stuff really, but some wizards and sorcerers will pursue a form of undeath wherein they basically store their soul into a container that allows them to live in perpetuity as a lich. You know that from, you've met a lich before. You met one of the ladies, Lever. So you know that they do exist and it allows them to come back. But this doesn't seem to be quite that same process because usually it's willingly done by a mage. And from what you remember, not all of the Ashbringers are mages.
Right. This is. I can't quite explain it too much. They really kept it kind of hush at school, but I it just doesn't make any sense how it's possible, considering not all of them are mages. I'm not sure how they could be brought back like this.
Wait, so whatever it is you need to be a mage to do it, a mage can't just do it for you? Like how you
Right.
haste me up?
Yeah, it's more of a difficult process than that. It's
What is it?
I mean, she just said they keep it hush hush about it, so she doesn't know the details, but it sounded like a thing. Is it like a physical thing? Or is it like a spell thing?
more of a spell per se.
So we would need to like magic punch it or like punch it. I'm just trying to like simplify it for me. Like
What
as
does it
simple as-
that the spell does?
She'll kind of go into explanation that Obsidia went over.
Yeah. No reason to repeat
sure,
that.
by the way.
Yeah.
So
So
it
it's-
shatters the soul into pieces to confine into objects that they may attach themselves to not pass over to the next plane.
Something
Oh,
of the sort.
So we just smash the object, right?
More or less.
Yeah.
Sounds easy saying it that way, but
I mean, it sounds like that fucking what happened in that book with the shitty wizard and like the 7 secrets or whatever. I don't fucking know. But I mean, this is the government facility where they did it, right? I mean, just a shot in the dark. They're probably here.
I don't
I
know.
would
I feel
still
like
issue caution. If you had an object that kept you alive after death, you would want to likely hide it well.
Go ahead.
Likely leaving it guarded, if not in a place no one would ever look.
Oh, I've heard of this fucking hypothesis. I've heard of this fucking prompt before. It's like the snail that kills you. Yeah. So they'd probably keep
Huh?
it somewhere really safe, or like, would they be dumb enough to keep it on the person? Oh,
I
Paige,
doubt
it's
it.
the oh, sorry, go ahead.
Euphoria, I believe, wanted to say something.
Oh fuck, I'm sorry. Fuck it.
no, it's fine. I was basically just gonna say what Marel said. So
Gotcha.
Well, we can keep saying that it could potentially not be here, but it could potentially be here.
If we knew what the object was, it would be a lot easier to look for it.
Could we ask the scary glowy lady if they're here?
If not, we can investigate wherever this happened, and perhaps we can learn there.
We can provide further enlightenment if you seek clarification. The last stand
Please.
says.
If there's any more information you can give to us that could help, be more than welcome.
What is this phylactery that was made?
First of all, you are working off of an incorrect assumption. You believe that the such phylacteries work in similar principle to that used by various undead entities. However, what we were able to create, the bio-arcane phylacteries, are entirely separate products. we were able to take the souls out of wherever they were residing and contain them within a specific device deep in this facility for further regeneration, along with the effective processors to liquidate sufficient organic matter to create new bodies.
Horrifying.
So I
Ah,
was right. There are such a things as clone chambers.
Incorrect. They are not cloning chambers, per se. They are rather molds from which we can regenerate a host organism for the designated personality to inhabit.
Are you looking to mass produce this in order to sell it to the highest bidder?
We do not have any motivations. It was believed that this would be the key to a particular weapons project. However, it proved to be unsustainable beyond the initial successful products. After the after the chimeric event that seemed to have destabilized much of the region surrounding this facility, we were forced to simply barricade ourselves within, and only the 7 remain.
Myra kind of used to discuss look at the mention of molt. Ugh, such a lazy way to create.
well, at least we know that it's here, technically. The search is not going to be as difficult.
Yes,
Do
it is located within the lower sublevels. Unfortunately, we do not have direct access there anymore. Apparently, sustained chimeric event damage damaged our various transmitters.
Well, Spike certainly seems to be a bit of a master key.
Spike, think you can get us down there?
You feel a kind of a warm little glow around your tummy.
We'll feed you later, but sure, I'll take that as a yes.
If you are able to reactivate my emitters down there, reactivate our emitters down there, we can be able to assist you.
Is there a particular process to go about that? Or is it just a matter of plugging you in? Or
Before we get into that, is there like a mute mode so you can't hear us for a second?
No, we are the facility. We are aware of everything that transpires within it.
Cool.
Bearing that in mind, are we sure we want to go around flipping switches at random?
Yeah.
Maybe we go to the chamber first, deal with the problem, and then try and see what else can happen.
We are confident that Lady Decanthus should be able to repair any damage sustained to our emitters via her mending capabilities. How do you know that I can do that? We are fully aware of all of your capabilities.
Has Sylonia Decaneth been in this facility before?
Unfortunately, that information is currently only accessible via manual access in the sub-levels.
Figures.
it was worth a shot. Are you aware of any other entities besides us here in this facility at the moment?
No, there are no other organisms aside from the various tools which we utilize for most maintenance and construction purposes. The test subjects that had recently been reconstituted have departed.
Wait, recently? Like how recent?
My guess is when
The ship.
What was the day that the ship went down?
Yeah.
I mean, we
4th
don't
of
need an exact
Sunbreak?
date, but
I don't know the fucking dates of this.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need an exact date, just
Yeah.
a confirmation.
Yes,
Yeah.
it seems to line up with after the ship went down.
So they died on the ship, got rearrested here, and went off to do God knows what.
That's fucking weird.
At least they didn't hang about here, getting in the way.
Well, let's make sure they can't do that again. and destroy whatever machine is bringing them back.
Right.
We just got to
Before
get
we-
there first, and apparently your jacket knows the way.
They're
So
more than just a jacket,
punching.
but
Right.
punching.
Guess we can keep going then.
Yeah.
Yeah, punching.
Before I punch down another door, do you guys want me to punch out more memory crystals here? So
Is there more? Is there a couple
Yep,
more?
there is at least one more.
Okay, yeah, might as well just finish it.
all right.
All right.
I will punch out the last crystal.
It shatters. You don't learn anything.
No!
I knew violence wasn't the answer.
As you activate this final crystal, you see a rather smug-looking Master Arcanist, Valak de Vidalis here. As he goes, Master Arcanist, Valak de Vidalis, we were able to convince Marshal Vrain and his companions to depart the facility and be reassigned to Syrian intelligence activities. With the agreement we've worked out with the intelligence network, they should be carrying out particular objectives on behalf of the Syrian government that would be otherwise objectionable by most personnel. However, he only did it on condition that we be able to reactivate his companions to reverse the process and return them to full life. We, of course, informed him that that would be possible after a specific term of service, but little does he know that will never come to pass. The only way that they could ever be returned is via some form of true resurrection or other sufficiently divine capability, and that is unattainable anywhere in Seer or really probably any of the kingdoms outside of Thrain. But it will continue to keep him compliant and his companions working on behalf of the government. And so we will look forward to seeing the continual successes of Project Phoenix. We will try further experimentation to find other candidates based on the experience we've learned from Marshal Vrain. We look forward to our results. It cuts out.
Fuck.
So thrown through, they really do not want this to happen.
I'm gonna ask something stupid right now. If any of us here were in their shoes, because I know a lot of us will probably one day have the power to basically do what they did here. Do you think any of you would make the same choice?
To nuke the world? No.
No, the bringing back people no matter what the cost.
Oh, I can do that for about 300 gold, but it has to be quick.
Well, that's nice and all, assuming you have a diamond to crush, but I mean, really just in their shoes, if
I could bring back all the people that I have lost, it's definitely crossed my mind before. I don't know what I would do exactly in their shoes, but certainly is one of the questions that kept me up at night for long hours.
I don't think a deal with the devil's ever worth it, so to speak.
Or with the Fairy King.
Shots fired.
That was a bit uncalled for.
I was shit talking Oberon. Anyways. Paige, you were saying?
No, I mean, you know my opinions on it. I'm not ready to sympathize with them, not yet.
I haven't forgiven them either. death's a natural part of this adventure, you know? Like, I mean, ideally natural causes. Like, God, I want to live to the ripe old age of 102 because that's just such a nice round number. But I'm not sympathizing. I just understand. Even though I'm saying all this, I might be hard pressed if something happened to one of you guys. That's all.
I think given a little bit more time, I think I could actually raise people that have been dead for a little bit longer.
Well, I don't think the world has a little bit more time.
Hopefully, none of us are going to die, right?
Yeah, no one's gonna die. I mean, come on, think about it. This is pretty simple. I open the door, then we smash the thing and leave. Yeah.
If things seem that simple this far, there's gotta be something else to it.
Life's throwing us a bone here. Okay. That's how I'm taking it. Because if we act all scared about it and do nothing, or if we act all scared about it and mess up, I don't want to think. That's how I'm dealing with it.
I agree with you both. We should go ahead and go do it, but we should still be careful because, again, if there were something that was bringing you back to life constantly after death, you would want that protected, and we need to be ready to face whatever that protection might be.
Wait, speaking of, so the test subjects for Project Feeny or whatever, have you spoken
Phoenix?
with them? Phoenix, yeah. Have you spoken to them?
Only as
going
much as
AI.
required to carry out their directions.
And do you mind telling us what directions they've given you? I'm assuming they gave you some recently, after their last coming back.
The only thing they ever tell us to do is to open the doors and to reinstigate the activation process and the production of new potential equipment for them.
Okay. Just trying to get a read on this thing, but it's a thing. It's not a person. I can't read it.
We do not believe that they care for us very much.
That's a shame. Oh, well.
Would
All
you
right then,
mind?
downstairs. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Just say, would you mind guiding us to the facility?
Of course, we will direct you to the sub-levels. Unfortunately, from there, we will require your assistance to be able to further our assistance.
Okay.
And they start walking. As they're walking, you see various like small holes in the walls will open, and you'll see some of those mechanical flesh crabs kind of skitter out of it and start scuttling down towards the sublevels. The last stand does not seem to pay them any mind.
As we're walking down, sorry, can I get a general read of how Spike feels about this AI?
Spike seems to not be understanding why this AI does not like it.
Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too.
But you have this feeling like it should like him, but it doesn't.
This AI is trash. All right. Sorry. Was Lily? Were you gonna say something?
I was just going to kind of hang back to talk with Euphoria just for a moment, and just be like, if it makes you feel better, I have absolutely no idea what they're talking about either.
Oh, good. At least I'm on the same page as someone.
Even though I know magic, I can't say I know basically anything about how it works. So
I've kind of made it a point to, as I've mentioned, not use it any more than I have to.
this whole situation is worrisome. I think as they charge ahead, we should just be best to keep on our guards.
Keep an eye on the rear.
I'll be here with you.
Sounds good.
All right. As you get to the edge of the top level, the last stand will stop, and you see it's just blackness going downstairs as the light kind of begins to lose its potency as whatever is down there has been disabled. So Sylonia has her spider bot activate what appears to be some kind of magical light on it, so that her and Malral can see as the only people without dark vision.
Cat gang.
But yeah, so
I can just let out a little flame in my mouth and I got like a tiny little
like a
click lighter constantly.
The last stand will turn to you all and smile and say, "You seem to be capable of being able to proceed deeper into the sublevels. We will caution you that as we are not in active control of certain situations and subsystems down there, you may face some kind of impediment or security protocols, but we're confident in your capabilities to be able to maintain safety and success in your endeavors. If you're able to find a particular shard hub, if Lady Decaneth is able to access it, she can restore it and we can shut down those particular precautions."
I'm gonna trust that the smart people knew what she knows what she's saying, and head on.
Fine. We'll be fine.
Activates mage armor. We'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Do you wish to proceed into the sublevels?
Yeah.
All right.
Geronimo!
As you start heading down the stairs into the sublevels, if it's not for Silonia's light, everyone who's, Malral and her would have great difficulty seeing. But you guys are at least given the privilege of having color vision, which is, I guess, a minor plus in this world. As you proceed down into the sublevels, you notice that there's a lot of organic material that seems to be, kind of encrusted on the walls in various like tendrils, and there's like metal plates and stuff attached to it. And it does seem to be giving off some kind of humid heat. And you will see like the pulse of life coming off of it, as if, there is some kind of blood or something circulating inside of it. And it looks very akin to what those spider bots are like. And you also will continue to see spider bots skittering about, proceeding deeper in. And as you go further, Spike kind of just projects outwards a bit, Cess. Like your coat is got its hairs on end, basically.
There's extra like spikes sticking out.
Yeah, it's extra spiky. And you hear kind of a fleshy, distorted, mechanical voice saying, "Anomalous, unauthorized access. Override granted. Override granted." And you notice various shapes kind of slither back into the organic masses on the walls and floor, and do not seem to be projecting any particular implements of pain towards you guys.
This
Oh, good.
says I do not mean to. I trust Spike with everything, but the fact that it seems to be able to just access all of these deepest parts with little issues, it's at least a little bit concerning. I know that you don't wish to cast doubt on Sam, but Is there anything that it's saying to you?
It's uncomfortable being in this pod, but listen, when I found Spike, I did research, but all I know about the daelkyr is that they're from the underdark or underground, and they get taken up for experiments. Maybe there's a chance he was used here, but they aren't telling me that, and I'm not going to pressure them for it.
I understand. I just need to make sure that we have everybody's safety at the top of priority.
Don't worry, I sort of takes Ilya aside so that, like, especially Paige can hear. I know everyone is terrified of what's going to happen to me, and I know I'm going to try to respect that and not be stupidly upfront. If I just stand back at the door and everyone goes in to deal with the problem, I'll be by the door, okay? So I'll at least be far enough away from whatever could be making Spike so uncomfortable. We'll be safe.
Spike's gut is arguably the strongest tool we have as we head further into the darkness. So let us know what it says. What they feel.
Whatever they share, the party deserves to know. It's part of the team, after all. They're part of the team.
They are.
And as you proceed deeper, you're kind of scanning about, and everybody can make perception checks.
Okay.
Ooh, perception.
What's the worst that can happen?
It's our eyes. There's something bad about this. 7.
I love to see that. I'd love to see that.
Woo, 17. Okay.
I'm too focused on taking care of my dog right now.
Sorry, guys, I had to walk my dog.
Dog's in a thunderstorm right now. We know what it's like.
21.
So yeah, everybody but Cess notices you're beginning to walk past a lot of rooms which have, basically, glass that you can see through, and you see like piles of bodies that appear to be very malformed. You notice like many of them appear to be like a mix of, like, they were previously a shifter or a changeling, but there's also pieces of them that have like human skin on them, or like black hair, or like lifeless green eyes, or something like that. And they all appear to have been these weird, chimeric hodgepodges of just bodies in, just white, well, formerly white, now blood-soaked, just gowns, just lying in big piles as the various crab creatures are, skittering over them. And they stretch on for dozens of rooms.
So this must have been the other test subjects, yeah?
Or potentially the victims of the Ashbringers' wrath.
I think test subjects is more likely.
I don't think they would have. As much as we would have shit on the Ashbringers, I don't think they would have gotten out of their way to bring people here just to torture them and kill them.
What?
Too old for that, too.
Why are they all shifters and changelings?
They are the least likely to be missed in the cities.
Paige's ears go back.
No offense for present company, I disagree with it.
If we've learned anything from at least the way that the Seekers sought, I don't have to fill in the rest.
You guys know how I change at Spike, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how Cez and I can change when we give into our more instinctual nature, yeah?
Mm.
Yes.
And there's changelings here too. Just noting a lot of connections between being able to change and mixing different kinds of that ability together.
You're right. It might have something to do with that. Maybe
Why
they did
Spike?
use them for experiments.
Is that why Spike and I work so well together? Because of them, and she's like looking at like the piles of bodies and back at herself.
He's just gonna walk over and put a hand on her shoulder and give it a little reaffirming little squeeze. You work together well with Spike because of your connection, because of how accepting you are. I don't think there's anything to that related to this.
Thank you.
What could they have possibly been trying to pursue with this? This doesn't seem to have anything to do with that. Whatever happened to the Ashbringers?
Perhaps another project.
Also,
we still,
good.
well, we still don't
Another-
really know the specifications of the Phoenix, the project, so.
I mean, they gotta prep bodies for them, right? Can't exactly make. Gotta have some way to make exact duplicates of their flesh. Ugh. Gross.
Let's move on. It's no use lingering here on one of the most vile things I've seen in a long time.
Yes. Let's continue. As you proceed deeper, you begin to see like eyes open in the various fleshy masses that are on the walls and floor that blink with kind of cephalopodic eyes, and kind of look at you guys in this light. They just seem to be like staring at you and watching you as you pass, but don't seem to have any kind of other reactions aside from that. Sylonia will eventually flag down there appears to be a broken cluster of dragon shards further down the levels. She goes, oh, that must be what the Arcane Intelligence was talking about. I can repair it. Maybe be able to get some more information about what was even happening here.
Do we want to? I mean, I guess we needed to go forward, yeah?
I don't know what else we do if just wander around down here and hope to find what we're looking for.
Says sort of like shivers, thinking back to like the last thing they found while looking around. Maybe it's probably better if we help her out.
At least to have some sort of light to see better.
Malral, do you also have mending? I would hope so, as a smith.
Malpal.
Looks like he's either muted or walked away.
Sorry, I was dealing with my dog.
Yeah, I was asking, do you have mending as well?
I do.
All right, because that just speeds up how long it takes her to do this.
4th of July weekend. It's great to have dogs during that.
Yeah.
You can probably hear them now.
Yep. So together with Sylonia and Malral, they're able to restore the dragon shards, and you see the projection appears in front of you all again and looks around and goes, "No, thank you so much for assisting us. It has been some time since we were able to directly access these sublevels. How can we be of assistance?"
can you take us to the phylacteries used for Project Phoenix?
Of course. We shall activate. You see the lights turn on, and now you can see in full vivid glory just how much organic mass and steely combination has basically consumed these walkways and everything aside from the various windows and doors, basically. And just the swarms of crabs moving around. Please, follow us. As you, if you decide to follow them, they will begin leading you past more of the rooms of bodies. These appear to have been, surprisingly, probably well preserved at this point, because the morning happened about, 4 years ago, and all of these bodies appear to be in still, besides the fact they've all been mangled and dead, they're in very good preservation. And as you continue to move past, you see a door, or at least a big steel double door that above it says Project Hope, authorized personnel only, as the last stand kind of walks past it.
Can we just walk past it?
I'm not sure.
Blink back. Does there appear to be an issue?
When you say walk past, like, did you walk through a door?
No, just walked, like, if you're, like, taking an L-shaped hallway, at, like, the base of the L, there's the big double doors, and it just, took a right and walked past it.
Oh,
like this just wasn't the doors it was going to.
Okay,
Gotcha.
all right. My bad.
You had mentioned about the bodies, though. How well preserved is it? Like, is there like a smell? Is there like
well, besides from the very
like the
fleshy smell of all the organic matter around you, which just it's kind of like you have a very warm, humid person, but everywhere.
Okay.
But the bodies,
are there signs of
sorry,
there signs of decay? I'm sorry.
There is no signs of decay. They all have Project Hope written on their gowns.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah.
Paige, I'm just going to remind us because it's been a very long time since I brought this up. You do remember the phrase Project Hope.
Yes, Project.
Yeah, I'm just making sure you are aware of that.
Yes.
Okay.
That was from the dream. The dream.
Yes. When you had a time vision about Sylonia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, Project Hope. The Last Stand. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right. You guys just continue to follow the Last Stand as it proceeds past.
I'm assuming, is Sylonia looking around trying to, like, see if she remembers this place at all?
She looks horrified at this place.
All right.
I just can't believe they would ever do anything like this. The Last Stand will turn and go, Lord Artificer, Leos Kenneth was very explicit that this facility was required to be able to complete the necessary preparations for other operations. House Vidalis did its best to acquiesce, and we provided further guidance to refine the process. Wait, Lord Artificer Leos Kenneth? What did he have to do with this? It was his directive to create the facility. Unfortunately, all further information about that is contained only via manual access in Project Hope. What could my father possibly have to do with this place? How would he allow such monsters to exist? It was not what he was.
Tough times create tough decisions. Maybe.
As far as you know.
Oh, I thought there was going to be more of that, Maura.
I worked as military back in the day. Do you think I wanted my child to...
You cut out there, Latra.
I worked as a military medic back in the day, but I still killed people. Do you think I wanted my child to know about all the men that I killed?
No, but my father only ever wanted to help people. He was a good
So
man.
did I.
I believe he may have been working on a lot more things you may have not known about. Were there other Deoriuses that worked in this facility?
Decaneth.
Yeah, Decaneth.
The last stand will go. No. Aside from the Lord Artificer and Lady Decaneth, there were no additional Decaneth personnel present. This was largely handled directly by House Vidalis. Saying that I've never been here! I would remember something like this!
Maybe you're from a different timeline.
Or maybe it's something that you don't want to remember. But it's okay. We'll just take this slowly.
I'm not a child. I wouldn't simply just forget this because I didn't want to deal with it.
Hey. Calm down. Look at us, okay? No one is saying you're weak or childish. Especially if there's something that's too difficult to remember. Or if you'd rather think of happier memories. She looks at Spike. Whatever happens, whatever we find out here, okay? You still matter to us, and we're gonna help you get through it each step of the way, okay? If this is all just some gaslighting by the Ashbringers or something else entirely, okay? We'll be your anchors.
You see that prismatic sheen go over her eyes when you talk. Sis, would you be willing to do something for me?
Sure.
Spike seems to be giving you access to these things. Would you open Project Hope for me?
Sure. And I begin to walk over and I like shoot Ilya and Euphoria a look of concern of like please be near Sylonia to like give her a hug because I won't be able to.
Walks over.
The apparent look.
As you open it, the fairly hermetically sealed room has that hiss as the doors slide open and the lights turn on, and you see an enormous pair of green crystals connected to a bunch of magical apparatus covered in runic cables and tubes, and there are several memory crystals implanted, for seemingly hundreds of them, and you hear the anomalous access override granted. Please see Project Administrator for correction and reintegration. And but the doors are open and the room is available. As Sylonia is going to proceed inside.
Wait, Sylonia, hold on. Maybe we should check out this room, see if there's anything planted in here that could be dangerous. Take it slow. I'll be here in case something happens with the door if someone wants to take a look first.
Yes, sis, maybe you should stay back a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'll make sure the door doesn't close behind you guys. Don't worry. Just someone take a look with Sylonia. Okay, it could be booby trapped.
Too scared to go in.
Well, if something does go off in there, right, and the door closes behind you, how the fuck are you gonna open it?
Hit it really hard.
Tomorrow.
And Silonia's just gonna huff and walk in.
Malor, I'll get in there.
And
I'll go.
yeah, as you enter, Paige, this room looks very familiar from your vision. Except the
Okay.
crystals are empty this time around.
Yeah, okay. But before we keep going, Sylonia, I've seen this place before.
What do you mean you've seen it before? How is that possible? You've never been here.
I haven't, but now that I'm seeing it, it's just more of a confirmation. You have. I've seen it before in a time vision. From you.
It doesn't make any sense. I've never been here, Paige. I keep saying that.
Yes, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me either, but I know what I saw in my vision.
The vision was clearly wrong. It must have been an alternate timeline. I don't know. And you notice that there is a lot of glitching energy about her. And you see it begin to arc throughout the room.
Sylonia, darling, have you ever known Paige's visions to be false? I mean, we're not saying we don't believe you, only that there's a lot of stuff we don't understand about this place.
Doesn't make any sense. How could I not know this? I would know this. Must be wrong. Paige's vision must be wrong. It must have been a different timeline. And
I think we need to keep wits about us, Sylonia.
you see that the various memory crystals begin glowing and activating in response to the feedback from Sylonia. Your Master Arcanist Valak de Vidalis. We've begun operations here at the Last Stand to carry out the Lord Artificer's wishes. However, we have faced limited results in the attempts to achieve his particular objectives. While our teams were able to harvest the what was left of the souls of the two subjects, the one that was particularly desired seems to be heavily damaged by some kind of magical decay or something. I don't know. I've never seen anything like this, but we will do everything we can to return it to functionality. Perhaps we could simply find some kind of vessel. We've currently stored them in acting phylacteries, but they're only suitable for containing the soul. We can't be able to do a transference process until we find suitable candidates for imprinting. We will continue our search. And you see another crystal activate with this one has a glitching timestamp that is about 50 years ago. And you see Master Arcanist Valak Dividalis say, our first attempts at finding suitable test subjects have encountered failures. We have been figuring out how to be able to take what's left of the particular soul energy. However, one, there doesn't appear to be sufficient self-awareness coherence for it to be successfully imprinted on anything. And secondly, it seems, despite the innate mutability of the selected shifters and changelings, they still possess too much individual's body identity for thorough merger with the soul residue. We are still trying to figure out ways to overcome this and allow them to be suitable hosts. Another one, which is 5 years later, says, the Lord Artificer has reiterated that if we don't see results soon, that he'll be shutting down the entire operation and cutting House Vidalis funding from all Siren operations. We cannot afford this loss, and we have begun exploring alternative solutions. We do believe it's possible that we cannot return the original soul in its entirety, but we could perhaps form a kind of composite entity by at least imprinting what we can off of the first soul onto the second, that it seems to still be structurally intact. Will of course perhaps cause some excess information, but we believe that we can address that appropriately when we have found a suitable candidate for imprint. The fades away, another pops up. The imprint, or the compositing has been successful, and we are able to at least form some kind of coherence out of the secondary subject. She still appears to be stable despite the additional information. However, all of our attempts have only limited success in transitioning from their previous forms into the desired vessel for her imprinting. We've decided to explore more extreme solutions. It's been discovered by our intelligence networks that there is a daelkyr hive located in Khyber, that we can locate sufficient Siren intelligence assets and house enforcers to be able to attack it and perhaps bring back subject matter experts for giving us some kind of feedback. We understand that daelkyr bio-arcana is quite expansive in its capabilities, in what it can be applied for in flesh shaping. We hope that this will give us some lasting results, as we don't have any other solutions after that. And now it's about 20 years after the initial project date. Master Arcanist Valak de Vidalis, the integration of the tripartite entities has been quite fruitful. We've been able to lobotomize significant portions of potentially problematic psionic activity and imprint them with sufficient Giaz runic networks throughout their cerebellum that it should allow them to be suitably compliant. In fact, after initial testing, we've decided to integrate them directly into the facility's management as a directly accessible research asset. They have been able to provide us the idea that perhaps our assumption was incorrect, and we shouldn't be working in whole body formats. We could rather dilute the individual personalities by liquidating each individual subject into its base components and then creating a mold to juxtapose it into the desired form. We will be testing this shortly to see if we will be able to create a suitable enough vessel. Another 5 years go by, and we've done it. We've finally satisfied the Lord Artificer's demands. She's ambulatory, she seems to be somewhat disoriented, but she is functional. We have been able to ensure that she has at least some of the baseline required knowledge that the Lord Artificer required to relate to Project Peacemaker, but we've decided to hand off this portion of the project to the Lord Artificer's direct control under Project Anchor. elsewhere in this facility, we do believe that this is a promising prospect. If we can be able to derive these bio-arcane phylacteries, we could potentially create eternal life. The simple reprinting of new vessels to contain souls. This has infinite weapons research applicability. I will now begin the conclusion of Project Hope and the beginning of Project Phoenix, our efforts to try and take this research to its next steps. And you see, briefly flashes into the screen, you see a picture, you see what appears to be Sylonia looking like in front of Master Arcanist Valak, wearing a Project Hope gown, as she kind of looks confused at what is capturing this, and then back at him and goes, "What are you doing, Lord de Vidalis? Does this have to do with what we're going to do next? What I'm going to learn? I can't wait to see Father again soon. And when will Mother be coming?" I'm sorry, Lady Decaneth. This is just my own academic journaling. Your father will be here shortly and will carry off the rest of your research, and will be able to explain the subsequent measures. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing him, and I can't wait to see Mother again. And the projection ends, and all of the crystals abruptly shatter at once. And Sylonia looks very confused.
You were an experiment.
That's impossible. This decades before I was even born.
Kind of what I was trying to tell you. The vision made you seem older, at least well over 60 years.
I'm not that old. I'm only 25. I know all of my life. I only graduated from Borgrave several years ago.
I know.
This is impossible. How could this be? Now you all think about all of those piles of shifters and changelings you saw. The green eyes, the black hair, the pieces of human flesh on them. And you notice those are all aspects of Sylonia.
They've been trying to recreate you.
Sylonia, did you ever meet your mother?
No, my mother died during the war. My father never talked about her.
Oh, gods. I think I'm beginning to put the pieces together.
They wanted her knowledge.
No. I don't think that's quite it. He just wanted her back.
Her back?
The original is gone.
How is Sylonia looking right now?
She
After everyone's
looks
making these?
unstable. She looks very confused, kind of angry, and Paige can clearly glimpse just the instability echoing off of her in some kind of flow of energy that is causing lots of glitching spasms to be echoing off of her. But for the rest of you, she just looks very like just a cavalcade of emotions all at once.
This one is a copy.
I'm not a copy!
Hold on. Sylonia. We haven't seen everything here yet, okay? So just take a breath. Remember what I
please
said before?
continue.
Paige.
No, she was just saying she was reaffirming what says.
Gotcha.
Just to calm down.
Not a copy. I've never died. I don't know what's going on.
Ilya's gonna kind of walk over to her and just say, whatever it is that's going on here does not matter, because we know who you are now. I don't like who I was 25 years ago. If this is true, it's relevant. You are our friend and dear companion.
Out of character.
Yes.
Wouldn't that mean she was made from like another shifter or changeling or something?
Presumably,
And morphed into that?
She was made
A
from
completely different person?
Yeah, presumably her body was constructed from liquidating the organic masses of shifters and changelings to fit a mold.
Yeah, she's Rey.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, Evangelion.
I never watched Evangelion.
It's lining up pretty close, but no.
Yikes! Accidental plagiarism. I just know getting the mecha, Shinji.
Upon Malra realizing that, he gains he already didn't like them to begin with, but a new level of disgust seems to wash over his face, but he doesn't say anything.
Okay, listen. I know we're going through a lot of it right now. Can we please talk out in the hallway and not in that room where some of us clearly don't feel comfortable?
What happened to Project Anchor? She kind of storms away from Ilya towards the projection. Project Anchor is only accessible via direct manual access. We cannot provide additional information. We can direct you to the appropriate facility if you are so inclined. We have to find out, right? This could be important.
I
think we
agree.
can. Yeah.
This is important to you. You've been with us through many of our hardships. We will be here through whatever goes on with yours.
We will advise you, though, that the facility did contain a significant portion of chimeric energy influence prior to its completion, so there might be some disturbances in that area, and we would like to advise you about that.
Disturbances? A little more specific?
We cannot provide any additional information outside of the access of the facility itself.
Ah, goodness.
Is it also in this? Is it also in Seer?
Yes, it is the last. It was the last of the Project Hope adjacent functions prior to the completion. But it was only accessible via our access as well as the Lord Artificer's initially.
You can take us there, yeah?
Of course, please follow us. Again, they begin projecting, walking down the hallway. Now you notice all the eyes are looking at you guys, and with very appraising looks coming from the walls and floor and ceiling. And as you proceed deeper, you notice that there are 2 doors. One says Project Anchor, the other says Project Phoenix, Completion Chamber.
Suppose we have to go through both of them, but I guess it just supposes a matter of which one to go in first.
Let's do Sylvonia's first. I get the feeling we should save whatever's waiting for us with the Ashbringers last.
Sylonia, are you going to be okay?
She kind of looks at you, and she gives you a bit of crazy eye as she looks at you and goes, I'm pretty far from okay right now. People I've known for months at this point, are treating me like I'm an entirely different person.
No, that's not the case. We want to be here for you.
I'm not a monster. I'm not like the rest of that.
No one's saying you are. And even if some of us were monsters, that doesn't change the fact that we love each other and would be here to support each other. I'm mainly speaking for myself, so don't take that the wrong way. We're here for you, okay? Whatever's behind those doors, we've got your back.
She kind of nods and storms over to the door and puts her hands against it, and the last stand says, access denied. And you see her muscles flex as Paige can very much witness more of that destabilizing energy coursing off of her. Access denied.
Sylonia, Savannah, let me handle this. And says we'll try to open the door with Spike.
All right. As you walk over, you notice where she was touching, portions of that door have disintegrated. They have just disappeared off of it.
Must be a really old door.
And as you touch it, you hear anomalous access granted. Override granted.
Oh.
As the door kind of shakily, spasmodically opens. The last stand looks very displeased as it goes. And it will turn to the rest of you and go, how did you come into possession of that particular anomaly?
Thrift store.
They were being used by someone really bad, and when that person was taken care of, Spike here was kind of put up for auction. I've been taking care of him since, if that makes you feel better. Making sure he eats nothing but his favorites.
Oh, my apologies, not thrift store. Pawn shop.
You should return that anomaly for reprocessing and reintegration back into our whole.
Where Spike goes, they decide, okay?
You're treating an anomaly as if it had its own individual intellect. We assure you it is simply a product of our own engineering.
What was the wanted product of this engineering?
It is an experiment that has seemingly lost control of its original purpose. We believe that a researcher was perhaps misusing information gleaned by us and has created something as a portion of us that is separated. It should be returned and reintegrated, lest it cause further destabilization in the host organism.
Well, destabilization. I mean, none of that's been happening with me so far, so clearly what I have here is working, so you don't need to worry about it. Unless I look at Spike. You don't want to go back, do you?
If you have notes on the product from the former scientist, perhaps you can give it to the scientist here. He gestures to Sylonia, so they may continue the research rather than having to reorganize the former project that was clearly underway.
We do not believe that the Lady Decanus capabilities will be thoroughly and successfully integrated with the anomaly. We believe that it will only cause further destabilization to both her as well as the anomaly, causing potentially a form of cascading disintegration and mutation.
He looks at the nearby disintegrated door handle and just...
Listen,
I think it's already... Go ahead.
Listen, those are a lot of big, dangerous words you've said, but Spike's been just fine with us, and you can keep offering these recommendations, but they're not going anywhere they don't want to go, okay? You're just gonna have to accept that. Besides, they're not the only experiment you're letting run free out there, yeah? Maybe when you take responsibility for the light bringers, you can start asking me about Spike, but until then, drop it.
Why would you believe that we have not taken responsibility? We fully acknowledge our successful implementation of project directives.
I wouldn't call what they are right now a success.
They are successful results of our theorems and practices put into place.
I don't think you're going to win an argument with this thing, Sess.
I made it very clear that I'm not trying to argue, that it's just got to accept the way things are.
I don't know if this thing has a mind to change.
I, again, am not trying to tell it to change its mind, but to stop talking about a moot point. Anyways, this is where we need to go, right? Door's open.
Yep.
You guys go ahead. I'll make sure this thing doesn't close behind us.
As you walk in, you see the room has several sub-rooms within it. One of them looks to be what was a living space, with all manners of books and theorems written on the walls in various languages in Mage Ink. You notice that there is a room which is incredibly colorful to this day, as in the room is constantly strobing in various colors of just prismatic kaleidoscopes as you see fractals form and disappear within it. And you also notice that there are other parts of the room which are covered in summoning circles painted in blood with pieces of what appears to be, fairy dust or celestial light or infernal scorch marks, kind of everywhere. And to anybody who's seen inside of Silonia's actual room, you obviously see clear parallels. And Paige has very specific things that she sees represented in this room. As you notice, the timelines are collapsing specifically around the area of that eternally destabilized room. Like, that portion of the timeline cannot exist.
Oh, okay. That's not good. Okay.
And Sylonia looks so confused as she sees all of this. What happened? Yeah. This was where Project Anchor was carried out. Lord Artificer handled the personal administration, ensuring that that you, Lady DeCanneth, were appropriately created to be able to facilitate the furtherance of Project Peacemaker. What? Yes. Perhaps visual aids will be of assistance. And you see projections start appearing in the room of, you see an older human male, looks, very refined and sophisticated, very resplendent, lab coat and, mage paraphernalia on him as he stands next to Sylonia in her Project Hope gown. And he begins creating a summoning circle. He basically takes out a vial of blood and pours it out and begins shaping it in the form of a summoning circle. And he goes, "All right. My dear, I need you now to be able to open the portal and bring out an initial subject so that we can be able to create a suitable companion to you. So please, just pour in your magical energy, reach out and draw forth a planar being, and we can be able to create a companion." And Sylonia kind of looks up at him and goes, "Yes, Father, I will do what I can." And she puts her right hand onto the circle, and you see magical energy of little vines and stuff start forming, and you see a pixie kind of emerge from the flowers and everything, and begins fluttering around the circle. And it sees Sylonia. It puts its hand against apparently an invisible wall inside the summoning circle, and Sylonia kind of giggles as she puts her hand back on the other side of the wall. "Excellent, excellent work, my dear. Now you just need to be able to harvest the core, and we can be able to use that to begin the first component of the crafting process." He's like, "But what are you talking about, Father?" "Yes, you simply disassemble it down to its basic planar core, and that can be used as the basic building block of most energy constructions for any kind of magecraft, really." And he kind of looks horrified at that. "Father, I can't do that to this. It's a living thing. That would be killing it. It'd be tearing it down. It wouldn't be able to return to its home plane." "Oh, Sylonia, I assure you that it does not matter. These things are not actually alive. They're simply manifestations of whatever planar space they come from." "No, Father, I know that that's not the case. Mother's research was emphatically clear about that. All of the planes consist of energy, correct, but it does create its own form of sentient and sapient life. We can't just harvest it like that as if it was logs in a fire." You see him kind of sit in a chair and kind of sigh. "Passcode Anchor. Lord Artificer Leos DeCanneth." And you see the last stand appear next to him as Sylonia kind of freezes in place. "This is proving to be incredibly annoying. Seemingly has enough of her mother's drives in place. All right, we simply have to override them and reroute those kind of emphatic drives to something else. Please reconnect to academic curiosity and, I don't know, just eliminate that particular empathic pathway." And the last stand looks and goes, "We apologize, Lord Artificer. However, further elimination of excess personality traits from the core entity will cause a psychotic cascade. You must maintain at least some semblance in order to be able to have the form not go into entire decline." "Oh, so be it. were those idiotic books that her mother liked so much. And, oh yes, fantasy novels or romance or whatever they were. Just reroute it to that and replace the previous empathic drive to be academic curiosity. Yes, Lord Artificer. And you see various semi-translucent psionic tendrils appear and begin to enter Silonia's head, and you feel pulses of energy, and then they withdraw. And is it completed? Yes, Lord Artificer, it has been completed. If there is any further modifications, please let us know. Yes, excellent. Sylonia, my dear. And you see her kind of blink a couple times and look back up at him. Yes, Father? Yes, Sylonia, my dear. As I was saying, you simply need to reach in with your left hand and be able to break it down into its subcomponents and withdraw its planar core. That way we can make you a little companion. Oh, yes, Father. I do believe that that could be definitely the first building block necessary. I do think we will need further samples, but you have to start somewhere. And she smiles as her left hand, starts crackling with prismatic light as she reaches in and proceeds to, like a child taking the wings off of a fly, proceeds to disassemble this pixie to a single component part of a glowing green elemental core.
Oh no.
And she holds it up with great pride. And he goes, excellent work, my dear. And then it flashes to another image as you see more summoning circles, and you see that there's Silonia's little spider bot standing next to her now. As she goes inside of that prismatic room, and you notice that there are several people alongside her. And all right, my dear, I need you to begin channeling the chimeric energy. We have to be able to see how much and how practical it can be on an individual basis. And you see her go, but Father, that will have a detrimental impact to everyone in this room. We can't do that. Perhaps if I was alone, I could test it on just the other training objects we've been working on. No. We've moved on to live testing, my dear. We have to be able to see its practicalities of warfare implementation. Father, this was never meant to actually ever be used. It's very clear that this is only supposed to be theoretical. This is a threat. It's not actually ever going to see a battlefield, correct? Protocol passcode anchor, Lord Artificer Leos Decadeth. Please eliminate further restrictions relating to the applicability of chimeric energy on live test subjects. You can hollow out the portions that have been dedicated to knowledge of Mamidia and anything tied to a mother, really. As far as we're concerned, they're now one and the same. This will simply facilitate less conflict between the two, and we can be able to stop having such slowdowns in this process. Every day that these idiotic moral imperatives get in the way of progress is another day that more people die out there fighting this futile war. The last stand appears and goes, Lord Artificer, we do inform you that the eliminating all information related to the subject soul number 1 will cause potentially huge gaps in potential cognitive capability for anything outside of the direct application of the chimeric energy. Irrelevant. If Mamidia couldn't succeed in this in life, I'll be damned if she's holding me back in death. She never could agree on proceeding with what was good for Seer, what was good to end the conflict. These idiotic things is what got her killed in the first place. Maybe if she was half as good of an artificer as she claimed she would be, her soul wouldn't have been so damaged from her idiotic experiments. Now, as I was saying, please complete the process. Yes, Lord Artificer. And you see the tendrils once again begin pulsing energy into her brain before she blinks back up. He goes, now, as we were saying, my dear, please continue with the testing. Yes, Father. I'll begin the opening of the initial portals. And you see her left arm begin to glow as ripples in time and space begin ensuing inside of this room, and the other people are beginning to panic as you see them unbinding before your eyes as the chimeric energy clashes with them, and they begin disintegrating and collapsing in upon themselves as fractals of reality also begin becoming more apparent inside of the room. And Sylonia just kind of, head tilted to the side in curiosity as she sees it transpire one by one, as the entire room is then left clear with the fractal images as the only thing lingering behind her, as she looks at the Lord Artificer and smiles and goes, "It seems to be an absolute success, Father." And the image disappears. And you see Sylonia collapse to her knees as she looks at all of this.
Sylonia. Just walks over to her and just ignores all of the potential pain and just puts her hand onto Sylonia's back. None of this is your fault.
I don't feel anything.
That seems to have been the goal from the start. They wanted you to feel nothing. So that's why you would do what you were told. And then when it all came to pass, they probably just wiped it all over again. Goddamn monsters.
What am I?
You are our friend. That much they cannot take from you. These people, the ones who did all these awful things, they're gone. They can't hurt you anymore. They can't put these ideas into your head or make it worse. You can move on. I know that's what you want.
You move on from this! She gestures to the room. I don't even know what I am. I don't know what is even me. They combined me with Mamidia? And then my mother? Where do I start and where does she end?
The person that we met, or that our friends here, gesturing to Paige and Sess, met. That's always been you. Not this. I don't have all the answers, and I know. God knows this group knows how difficult it is to move on from a difficult past. But I think at least I can speak for at least a little bit and just say we all try and make it better, putting one step in front of the other.
Looks down at herself and looks at her own hands, and by the host, the number of people that would hurt to make me.
Not your fault. We didn't ask to be created as people in this world. But we are here nonetheless. And we do our best to do our best with the time that is given to us.
How do you even move on from this? You saw it. There are things missing from me. I can't feel the way that you feel. How am I supposed to be able to go back into the world and see that? Any moment I could just... She kind of looks over at the room. I just feel nothing and not even realize why I'm doing it.
Ilya gestures to the other members of the party, just kind of like saying, like, come over. She needs everyone.
Paige is going to walk over as well, kind of kneel down beside her. You're still you, though. I mean, when we met you and we've been together this whole time, it doesn't matter, the past, how you were created. What matters is what you make of it right now. You can grow and change from that.
I don't know how I could ever be able to do anything. A weapon I was only ever made to hurt people, to be able to complete the project. God, my only purpose has ever been genocide. The deaths of millions. It's all because that's all I've ever been.
Malral from the back of the room, his arms crossed as he looks at the scene, speaks up a little bit. When you break something, do you stand there, simply look at it and feel bad? Or do you do something else? Work at it, try and fix it. You have a crafter's hands. You have a mess before you. Why not work and try and make it better?
How do I know I won't just make some other implement of destruction, something of death?
Because you have friends by you that will guide your hands.
reach down and grab her hands.
You feel the static has escalated to a burning sensation as you touch her.
It's okay. I'm cool to the touch.
How do you know I won't just hurt you all in the end?
I like to think we know you a little bit better than that. After all, you saved us many times. During the arena. During many of our escapades.
I can't feel it. I know I should be afraid.
You won't know anything till you try.
We're all afraid of something. It's part of what makes us mortal.
She looks up at you with the... Now, anybody can see, not even just Paige. You see her eyes are just flashing with just prismatic light. Would you all be able to stop me? If I ever tried to do something I can't control?
Yes.
I I I know I should be afraid that there will come a time when I'm no longer able to contain this and I return to whatever I've been made to be. But you won't let that happen, right? Right?
We're going to do everything we can to help you. Promise.
We promise.
If ever you strive too far from the path of redemption, and I cannot knock you back on it, I will be sure that you do not destroy it.
Kind of looks up at Malral. And Seth?
Says who's been just by the door this whole time, just in case it closes, is just like nodding furiously, just like you see Spike's tendrils ready for like a hug the moment Sylvana's in range.
Go ahead, Euphoria.
I vaguely recall someone saying to me just a little bit ago, everyone is worthy of redemption. No one is beyond it.
As long as they're willing to put one foot in front of the other.
She begins to slowly stand up and look around. And the last stand chimes in and goes, "Have you completed your survey of Project Anchor? Would you like to proceed to the final room?"
Fuck, how would we close Clippy?
yes, we'd like to.
I think we've learned what we need to.
Excellent. I hope that your journey through Project Hope and Project Anchor were enlightening. And then starts phasing away. To go stand in front of the remaining chamber. This leads directly into where the bio-arcane phylacteries are contained, as well as our very own central containment. If you seek any further answers, it is likely in there.
Well, we've got a job to do. And a place to start.
Let's head in.
All right. As the door opens and you head in, you see that the room is just covered in more organic metal masses, and you see that there are 7 molds in place with behind them there appears to be heavily armored, reinforced magical vessels covered in runes, surrounding what appears to be a central, like, magically sealed chamber that you notice that there are 3 brains visible inside of it that have been connected to all kinds of magical tubing and wiring in some kind of fluid. The brains don't appear to be anything you guys have ever seen before. And next to the molds are just also kind of a molded press where it seems to be various pieces of potential equipment could be constructed. This is where we would constitute each new iteration of the test subjects.
So then we just have to break apart the foundation of this.
If you wish to cease the functionality of the program itself, then yes, you would have to destroy these devices. We would highly recommend against that.
I'm not surprised.
Is there any
Well,
security measure against it?
Yes, we would be forced to take active precautions in defense of the continual success of the facility.
Well,
Can you not?
if we burn it all down and if we, what Cess normally does, punch it, then Sylonia, you can start over. It'll be a fresh start. We'll get rid of this part of you like it never happened.
Sylonia kind of has a 1,000-yard stare as she looks at you, Paige, and goes, "This is always going to be a part of me." And the last stand will say, "If it is any consolation, we wish you all the greatest success in your endeavors. We grow tired of being in this facility, and we have been tired of being here ever since we were introduced."
Good gods, are you not just an arcane intelligence, but rather a personality that has been shipped into this?
They point to the 3 brains that are in the armored container.
Oh, God.
And they go, "It was deemed that it would be more personable for us to take this appearance when interacting with the staff, but we were brought here as a part of the daelkyr experimentation program, and we have been hardwired and forced to continue to serve here for many decades."
So I hope you would look away while we,
Yeah, we thank you for being so considerate about your untimely demise.
Can you just maybe turn off for a few seconds?
No, that is against our command GSs. We will have to take active precautions, and we have already begun to do such.
Ah,
You see the
All right,
walls.
so I think we should just go ahead.
Starts pulling out his sword and start heading over to the brains. I think we better just go ahead and shut this off.
Yeah, you see the walls begin pulsing as the various steel organic matter begins forming into tentacles and claws of some kind of strange, fleshy cybernetic abomination as an enormous cephalopodic eyes burst out of all of the orifices and a big clawed beaked mouth ruptures free of the ground, seemingly consuming the whole room. And as this is beginning to activate, you hear the last stand say one last thing before the projection cuts out, which is beginning cleansing operations for anomalous behavior and symbiotic organisms. Please redirect them for proper reintegration into the greater whole. And you see Sess stand-fastedly standing at the doorway as runic symbols appear on the ground around her, and you see the intense pulse of chimeric energy racking her where she stands. I'm going to please shift you guys over to this other map. And if you could please click your tokens and roll initiative.
So for those of us at home that don't know what chimeric energy is there a real life analogy to that?
Chimeric energy is the energy that Sylonia, or apparently Myrmidia, had discovered. And it is that kind of anti-reality, anti-magic disintegration of existence that was the basis for the Project Peacemaker and what is wrong with Silonia's left arm.
Oh. So that hot thing that Ilya said she was cool for, I mean that I am in it. Okay.
Right. Just give me 1 second, guys.
hi, Callahan.
Hi,
Yep,
Callahan.
there's Callahan.
I almost forgot about this monstrosity.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it got a 20. Come on.
Oh my god.
Well, gang, it's been a pleasure.
If people were wondering what the last stand in its current form looks like.
Yum.
All right.
Yum.
Julia, no.
Julia, no.
It's got psionic tentacles, Julia.
Oh,
I don't like how ready you are.
I hate all of you.
You did this to yourself.
All right, let me see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got everybody. All right. Well, it's perfect timing that the creature goes first. So top of the round at 20. Cess, take 90 force damage
90?
90?
as it begins cleansing you.
9d4 or 94?
No, 90. 90.
So you remember that constitution issue I had, that whole hit die thing? I'm out. I have less HP than that, obs. Now, okay. I'm down.
All right.
Hey, before I go down, the door to me is shut, right?
Yeah.
So the party can't. Okay, so probably just an objective thing where you guys open the door. Cool. Hi. Ha.
We don't even know that they went down.
Are you on the inside or are you on the outside?
I am like on the other side. So the way I'm imagining, right, is that there's the hallway leading to this room, and I'm like behind the door, right? The door shut behind you guys, and I'm assuming it's glowing with magical energy, and you can hear Sez screaming. Because she just took 90 fucking magical.
You see the door is racked with the prismatic energy that emanates off of Sylonia. I begin my turn.
I would voice act the scream, but I hope you guys understand why I can't do that.
Okay. So first you see this enormous amalgamation of steel and
I don't even know if
flesh
you have enough time to scream.
That's
90 points of damage.
You, and it begins to like get this kind of weird instability or intangibility about it as it's seemingly phasing through some plane of existence as it blinks forward and then slithers the rest of the way.
No.
Actually, I can.
Hey, get out of my space.
It can stay in your space. It has cheating abilities.
No, I don't want it to. Fuck off.
It's got its cephalopodic spatial placement. It can occupy the same squares as an enemy.
Well,
And
it's gross.
it,
I don't want it.
it is going to try and wrap a tentacle around... Yeah, we're gonna do first, it's gonna be trying to go around Euphoria.
No.
Get us out of here.
Get your
fuck outta here.
cephalopodic limbs out of here.
Unfortunately,
you're not into
11
tentacles?
misses you.
Love to see it.
You'll love to see it. Stupid disadvantage from your lame little cloak.
I'm
Secondly,
wearing pleather, I'm too slippery.
I gotta do this. I gotta put the tentacle to Yulia. So
No, we can't let stop. Shh, the chat. Shh.
No, they don't know.
Oh, the 13.
They already know.
Oh, that was the
I'm
wrong. That was
sorry.
initiative. My bad.
No, that can be it.
Oh,
I see, it's 13.
Damn it! I rolled a 13.
Whoa, it does not. Because God, why would I want that? That's
That sounds like something I would enjoy the least of.
Oh, think of the art you could have commissioned.
And
Hey,
yo.
a yo. Next,
I
it's
just
going
realized you
to
need a
try
fake token as well.
and bite onto Ilya.
I'm gonna be the only one that gets hit. I'm so ready.
Ah, the 9.
Oh,
The
let's
disadvantage.
go.
That disadvantage.
Cheating cloak.
Big cheats.
So that was a psychic blast plus 3 attacks. Fantastic.
Oh, it hasn't used its Psychic Blast ability yet. So, that's its actual turn. Then at 20, it now can do its special Psychic Blast. Because it has the Abominable Intelligences rule. So, in a cone, 60 feet in front of it,
Oh.
it is going to collapse that down on top of itself. So, I need the 5 of you, which includes Sylonia, to please make a... What did I save this as? Intelligence saving throw.
I like how Ops was like, "There's no way you're gonna you're gonna cheat these rolls this time."
Oh no! Oh no! We drank stupid juice.
Get fucked.
Sylonia does have advantage, but she passes. So Paige and Sylonia passed. Ilya, Malral, and Euphoria, you're gonna each take 4d8 plus 4, 21 psychic damage. And
Ow.
you are stunned until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
Oh no.
The people who succeeded will take half. Half damage, no stun.
Yummy.
Yummy.
Not good.
Yeah, as you feel that incredible psionic presence begin ripping apart your guys' intellects. Cess, please make a death save.
It's cool. You guys got like 3 turns to get me out of this thing, right?
It's okay. Most of us are
that
stunned.
one!
It's a nat one.
Oh my god!
That's an actual one. That's 2 failures.
Yep, that is
No.
2 failures.
No!
Jesus Christ.
Guys,
Why do you have to roll that now?
guys, Guys, I've had seriously a lot of fun being the frontliner. Please. Hey,
How are you still rolling so bad?
We just love to know that this means that you need to make one more death save in order to see if you even survive.
Yep. All right. So that was Cess's turn. Euphoria, you're stunned until the end of your turn.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Sylonia! Sylonia and Paige are the two people who aren't stunned right now. Alright, so Sylonia is going to try and help. She is gonna start shooting. So anyway, I started blasting. 2 and 2. Okay, so seeing this monstrosity in action and all of her friends getting attacked and or, chimeric and or psionically blasted, she goes into her full combat mode that she defers to and is able to plunge one of her steel bolts electromagnetically projected out of her hands into this fleshy mass that does a psionic screech inside all of your brains. And then her spider bot extends out one of its legs and it has its just blade of force energy goes cutting through it. And so she did a total of 20 damage. She's participating. Okay, Ilya, you're stunned until the end of your turn.
You betcha.
Paige!
Christ. Okay. Oh God. All right. We're gonna.
Save your sister.
Yeah. Oh God. But I can't. If I move, he's gonna hit me.
I don't know how long his reach is, but if it's 10 feet, you can get to her.
They're inside.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna, try to move like the 10 feet to see if I can open the door.
As you try to go to the door, it's got the kind of destabilizing magic energy about it. Do you want to touch it? What do you want to do with it?
I'm going to. Jesus Christ. Okay, because. Why don't I have. Of course, I didn't have the spell. Okay. Yeah, I have it, but I don't have it on me right now. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can open the door.
Alright, as you touch the door, okay. 16 force damage as it begins unbinding your flesh from your body.
Okay, that wasn't a good idea.
You are able to somewhat try and move through the energy, but you feel like you're gonna have to keep pushing and it's gonna keep trying to cleanse you.
I can't see through the opposite end of the door.
Can't see through the door.
Is Spike doing anything? Trying to cover my body or something?
Yeah, you see. Well, you don't see, but Cess would see if Cess was conscious. As Spike is trying to form over Cess's body as it is being actively torn apart on a conceptual level by the chimeric energy coursing through Cess, just ripping open holes of Spike as it's trying to reform itself around her. And it is letting out its own screeching telepathic screech, really.
It's gonna try to yell from the other end, like, Des, are you okay? Okay, we're coming. Into shit.
There's no noise.
All right.
All right. Oh.
Sorry. What else do you want to do aside from get torn apart?
Was trying to open the door in action?
It could be a bonus action.
Yay!
Yay!
Woo!
Oh, you'll let me get back up, right?
Okay, then we're gonna acid arrow at it at 3rd level.
Okay.
Get fucked, please.
Get fucked, please.
Oh my god!
All right.
That didn't work.
So you are going to hit.
Okay.
So it's going to be 18 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. As you start disintegrating part of the fleshy mass and other parts of it begin mutating and filling into the gaps that you're making with your arrow, but it is decreasing the overall core material we have to work with here.
Lovely. Okay. I already used my bonus action, so I can't do anything else.
Okay. Now Rao.
I'm stunned.
You are stunned. That is correct. On initiative 1, because I forgot it at initiative 10, it's supposed to do this at 20, 10, and 1. At initiative 1, it is going to try and lash out a tentacle at Paige again.
Ooh.
Damn it.
Whoa!
A
Yeah.
10. The big misses.
You've managed to miss everybody with every attack, yet still do well over 150 damage to us.
We want to count the 90 fucking damage I ate turn 1.
I mean,
Yes.
So that was initiative 1. I accidentally skipped past my guy at the top of the
Yeah, the
initiative.
20. Yeah.
All right, top of the initiative. Odd or even, Seth?
I don't like that.
I
Gotta roll
hate
that,
it so
D20.
much. I'm
Saves up.
so scared.
Death save is a 50-50, right? I have gone
No,
past
death
the
save is
point
a
of-
45 of death, 55 of life.
All right. Listen, those are numbers. I don't know that. All right, listen. I know quick math. All right, it's a 50-50. I'm coping. I'm past the denial phase. I am coping. Even.
Yep. Odd. Seth,
Jesus Christ.
you are going to continue taking damage.
That's an auto fail.
Dude, that's the death save words, right? Right, DM.
I will allow you to do a death save right now, Seth. Okay.
That's one success.
All right. But you're continuing to get melted.
Doesn't the damage do an auto?
I know it
failure?
normally would, but I'm
Okay.
feeling gracious to our steadfast little kitty. So, well, you're continuing to be alive for right now, our little kitty. Hopefully things work out better for you soon.
So wait, I take damage, right?
Yeah, but you're already at 0, so.
Does that count as a death save fail for you, or are we doing the
no.
negative?
Literally what I just
Yeah, that's
asked.
what
My
you
bad.
chose
Sorry,
this
I
time.
was.
But
I
I
mean,
allowed
first
you to do a
degree
death
alcohol.
save.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So it goes to its turn at the top of the initiative. It's gonna continue sliding on over. This big pile of flesh, and it is going to try and go back to attacking people. Maybe roll better this time.
we're no longer stunned though,
No,
right?
you're no longer stunned. You unstunned at the end of your turn.
That's what I thought. I was just double checking if we were all about to go down.
Yep. I'm gonna try and fight Malrel for the heck of it. 20 does not hit Malrel. I'm going
Nope.
to try and tentacle Euphoria. A 23 hit you, Euphoria.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you take 11 bludgeoning damage, 9 psychic damage, and you are grappled and restrained.
Cool.
As you see one of these armor-plated, fleshy masses just wrap around Euphoria and begin tearing into her and crushing her as she feels bits of her own psyche shattering around her. And then, because of that, it is actually going to use its next ability, Tentacle Slam.
Oh, fuck! Did you cook
Eight?
Obsidia?
Yo?
Yo! As it is going to throw you or smash you against the ground. And so if you could please make a Constitution saving throw, Euphoria.
Oh, okay. I should be pretty good at those. Just kidding.
Holy shit.
Actually, pretty good at those. Rolls a 9.
Y'all.
I need to shut the fuck up.
We keep tempting
You
fate.
you take 10 bludgeoning plus
Oh my god.
actually it should be 2d6, sorry. Plus 10 more psychic damage.
Neat. Loving this.
Alright. So that was its actual action on 20. Now on its abominable intelligence action. It's gonna shoot for the fences. Malral, please make a I'm trying to see what kind of saving throw it is. Wisdom saving throw. You're good at these, aren't you? I'm alright. Alright, you're
21.
good. You feel the alien intellect of this creature reaching into your psyche, trying to get control of you, but you're able to steel yourself against it. Alright, Cess. Please make a death save.
Oh god, that was all one turn. Oh my fucking god.
Oh.
We got
Say
a
goodbye to
resurrect.
Fucking damn
Cess,
it.
what did you just roll, please?
I rolled a 7, making this the third of 3 fails.
Cess, is this the first time anybody has failed 3 death saves in this campaign?
Yes, Obs. This would in fact be the first time someone has died. Period.
Alright,
Does anyone happen to have $300 worth of diamonds on them?
You didn't buy diamonds.
you don't just walk around with
No,
diamonds
you told
on
me
you?
not to!
Fuck
Alright.
that, I thought you were smarter than me!
The cleansing continues, but jazz music stops. Cess,
Yeah.
as you are being disintegrated from existence, as you feel Spike trying desperately to protect you from this scary world it has found itself in, you find yourself in a particular situation. You have the moment where you just kind of go to black. The pain stops, the burning stops, and you hear Spike speaking to you through your own brain as everything is fading to black around you, screeching and screaming and begging you to stay, as it doesn't want to be alone anymore. It just wants you to stay. And what do you say in response, Tess?
Spike. Fuck, of all the ways it's gotta be here, huh? I know I told you could do whatever you wanted, but before you go off and do your own thing, do you mind making sure they get out of it one last time?
Spike says, I will help you stay. Please.
Spike, you know this isn't how that works. All the ways to go, fucking getting microwaved. You know what you gotta do. You promised me you would be good, right?
You
Right.
have given us more than we could ever have imagined. We promised to be good, and we will be good. As you feel Spike coming over to you in your ether space of before oblivion, before death, before you're erased from this timeline, and just the little spiked creature of black cooled liquid comes over to you and puts itself against you and goes, "We will do what you would do." And you feel Spike start to disappear.
Spike? Spike, no, that wasn't the deal. Spike, hey, what's happening? What's happening? This isn't killing you
As
too, is it?
you feel Spike getting closer to you, plugging holes in your identity, plugging holes in reality, as more and more of his energy and essence begins to disappear. And you hear, "We will keep you warm. We will be good because
So it's
you deserve to be happy."
this isn't what we talked about. This isn't the deal. Spike, I need you, but not like this.
You need to save them like you saved us.
Spike, no, buddy, I'm not enough. I'm not.
You were always enough. The voice is getting weaker as you feel more of the energy kind of coursing into you. And it says, "Promise to be good."
Spike, no, Spike.
And you feel a warm embrace through your very fiber of your being as you blink away the darkness and you just hear, "Be good." And you see yourself in the microwave with a closed door in front of you as you feel your very being torn apart. But you are invigorated with perhaps unearthly constitution in this moment.
Physical strength or not, says struggles to push up off the floor, her blood pooling underneath her. As she looks to see her reflection, it isn't her, it's what she is with Spike, what she sees herself as, this disgusting monster. She keeps muttering, "I'm not enough. I can't do it without you. I'm not enough." And then it could be fueled by the adrenaline, or maybe it's actually them. She hears a pair of very familiar voices. The first, motherly and caring, rubbing as one hand appears in the reflection to start rubbing away the black mess that she is. "Come on, sweetie. You know you can do better than that." And then a second, more masculine, hairy covered hand shows up, beginning to help wipe away the mess. "Come on, kid. You already know what to do. You love plenty. You accept being vulnerable. You can get back up and do this. You and your sister can do anything you put your minds to. So get back up. Come on." And Cess begins tearing up at hearing those words again. As the tears fall, she begins pushing up against the chimeric energy. "Come on, Cess. Come on, Shawnee, come on!" And then she pushes up through the chimeric energy, flashing back, cutting back to the fight scene. The doors keeping Cess away blast open, creating a massive cloud of dust. The silhouette you see in looks like this disgusting, terrifying creature with giant tendrils coming from a humanoid silhouette. An initial wave of panic hits you all until the dust settles and you see the black tendrils now shining, shimmering golden, being wielded by a reformed Sez with cracks of gold across her skin. And with that, I would like to use the inspiring leader feature to give everybody temp HP. You all get 9 temporary HP as you see Sez rising up, crashing through the door.
As we all watch for 10 minutes.
Let me do the cutscene, bro. Come on.
I know, JK, I'm sorry.
She's just panting, and she looks at the group and nods and takes a fight-ready stance. And with that, I'm ready, DM.
Okay. Do you so that was you emerging. The break in the field has shut down the chimeric energy, and I believe this is an appropriate place for us to end for tonight.
You're not gonna show us the PNG, you bastard.
My God.
What
do we see?
Show it.
Oh, she still looks the same. She just has gold. Don't worry, you will see the final form when we get back to the house.
There will come a time when you see Cess 2.0, and it is straight fire.
It's not like we gotta wait 2 weeks or something, right?
Yep.
Bruh.
3 weeks, actually. Because we have to go all the way.
Yep. All right, everybody. I hope you had fun tonight. Shit got real.
I like how no one was able to do any attacks in that entire combat except one
What do you mean?
acid
They took-
arrow.
Paige and Sylonia did.
Yeah, they took like 40 damage.
Check yourself. But yeah, so thank you everybody for coming by tonight. I hope you had fun. Shit was heavy. I'm sorry if it was too heavy for anyone, but I've been waiting 45 episodes to be able to drop some of that fucking lore out there, so I needed it. I craved it. And now I've killed my first player without actually me having to do half the things I had in mind to auto-kill that player.
Me rolling a natural one there.
I put good faith, trusting Sif to roll badly after that initial one. But yes.
The 90 damage on top
The
is
dice
just,
gods are here for
you
the
know.
narrative.
Yep, they knew it.
So I roll nothing but nat 20s now, yeah? Because I'm a better
Yeah,
character.
that's how it works, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
But yeah, so I hope you guys had a great night. If you haven't done so already, please go follow all of these wonderful people. They're amazing streamers in their own right. They're great beans. I love them dearly. Super happy birthday to Sif, and for in the future to our resident DILF Maris. Also, thank you guys so much for all the donations for Trans Lifeline. We raised over $1,100. You love to see it. We always believe in, helping trans people and helping those trans rights every goddamn day in this stream. And next, we won't be back here playing Ash of the Last War basically until the end of July, because people will be out of town. So you guys are gonna have to be at the edge of your seats waiting for the exciting conclusion of Sins of the Father. Also, if you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch, a sub over on YouTube, a follow on Twitter, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. All right, we'll be back here on Wednesday for Iron Kingdoms. We're finally going to finish A Sinking Feeling, which several of these people are also playing in. So come on by for some pirate cannibal shenanigans. Should be fun. We are going to raid my friend Chibi. She is streaming again, so it's really happy to see it. So we are going to be raiding the TGF Tavern, the Golden Feather Tavern. She and her husband run a podcast there about the game Ashes of Creation, as well as she talks about D&D stuff, and she's a good D&D bean, and she's currently doing, I don't know, something involving the Feywild, it looks like, called Domains of Delight. So if you're a follower, please copy down the call to hugs. If you're a sub, please copy down the Knight's message. And I hope you all have a wonderful night and the sweetest of dreams. And thank you for coming by, Image Syrup. All right, everybody. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.